ahead and share the slides and work through them here. So you should have these in your inbox already. An email was sent a little bit ago to everyone that registered here on the call. So you should have those in hand, or if not, they should be coming to you shortly. And we'll just go ahead and walk through here. There's a little bit to talk about, so bear with us here as we kind of go through each slide and threats and whatnot. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask during the webinar here, but there's a chance we'll get to it at some point here. And then we're not going to go city by city or but in summary, we have multiple waves of thunderstorms and heavy rain coming through that will bring us a flash flooding risk beginning tonight into Friday and then again Saturday. We're looking at widespread amounts of 1 to 2 inches of rain, with locally higher amounts possible too in different strands and streaks, depending on where the thunderstorms kind of set up. And some storms could become severe with damaging winds as the main risk here in the Kentucky, central Kentucky, south central Indiana areas. And we have a flood watch currently in effect through this afternoon and goes through Saturday evening. The next update is scheduled by email, probably overnight tonight. So that'll be by 6 a.m. Friday. When you wake up, you should have something new in your inbox. But the slide here, this picture here, is a chance of 2 inches or more of rain by Saturday night. And I'm going to highlight these dark green areas. If you look at the Bowling Green and maybe up the I-165 corridor there towards Owensboro, those have the highest risks of some of the training thunderstorms, is what we call it, where you have repeated rounds of storms moving over the same areas. Those are areas to watch. Campbellsville and northward, you got to watch those areas too. But really, there's a pretty good bet that we're going to see some rain of some kind across the entire area. But the heavier rainfall risk does look to be in central to south central, even southwest central Kentucky. So Thursday night into early Friday, we have this severe risk here. So we have a level 2 of 5. That's that slight risk there for the west. And then if you follow a line from the Covington area down to Frankfort, Harrodsburg, all the way down to Tompkinsville, that's level 1 of 5 for that damaging wind threat, mainly for a strong severe storm to get going. But the best chance is going to be for those areas in the west, kind of along and west of the Interstate I-65 corridor, along I-64. You could see some frequent lightning in here, of course, and then gusty winds, especially locally damaging winds in here. The main timing is going to be 8 to 11 p.m. tonight. And then the level 1 of 5 risk will be from 11 p.m. tonight through 6 a.m. Friday morning. And our confidence is low in this. We're still kind of monitoring here, but we're expecting more of a heavy rain risk along these areas. But you could see a gusty wind, here or there. So not looking at very high tornado risk or hail risk. This is mainly all driven by wind. So your wind probabilities here are this brown area here in the central part of the graphics is up to a 15% chance of a severe wind gust. And then over here in the yellow, that's up to a 30% chance of risk. So that's basically per county. So every county has that chance for that type of hazardous wind to get going. So your impacts are going to be trees, down, or power lines, minor roof shingle damage, things like that, maybe even some crops. So if it's garbage night tonight, make sure you secure your trash cans, things like that will be blowing around most likely. So your timing of your severe threat for, again, this evening, we're looking at any time in the, I guess you call that green, 8 p.m. to tonight through 1 a.m. Friday. And then it kind of slowly progresses across the central Kentucky and south central Indiana there for the early overnight hours tonight for this severe threat. So we're just going to have to watch that line moving through, and our confidence is medium in this, that this is kind of how it's going to play out. But again, looking at that gusty wind potential, and this is the main time for that gusty wind to arrive in your counties or your communities. As we look beyond Friday and then into Saturday, Friday still has that lingering chance for, again, a severe wind gust, level 1 of 5 in both scenarios for Saturday and Friday. This is going to mainly be driven by how much sun you get, how much breaks in the clouds you're going to have. For the most part, we kind of have this frontal boundary that'll be draped across the area and just repeated rounds of heavy rain. So our confidence is really low in the severe threat, but it's not zero. So we have to, kind of stay on our toes for that. But our confidence is higher in the actual heavy rain threat versus the severe threat. Speaking of which, so let's go ahead and talk about flash flooding concerns with the excessive rainfall that we're looking at. So this is on a 4 scale. So for tonight into Friday, this is level 2 of 4. And that is across the whole area, that you have at least a 15% chance in your county to receive some sort of flash flooding. So we have the first of several waves coming through tonight, and we're looking at widespread 1 to 2 inches, but it wouldn't be unheard of to see locally higher amounts, especially in areas where heavy rain kind of repeats itself over and over in the heaviest thunderstorms. You're looking at greater than 4 inches possible of accumulation, maybe even 5 or greater. So significant flooding is on the table, especially considering we're going to have slow moving thunderstorms tonight through Friday. So what is uncertain here is that first wave of storms will weaken and leave kind of a remnant boundary. We think it's going to set up somewhere between Owensboro, Hartford, Bowling Green, maybe even down between Tompkinsville and Scottsville areas, somewhere down in the southwest corner of central Kentucky. But that's still not yet to be clear here. We're going to have to monitor this closely. And that line could shift anywhere. 40 miles here or there can really greatly change the amount of accumulation you're going to have. So the confidence in flash flooding here is medium, and we'll continue to monitor this and see how things go. So flash flooding risk continues again for Saturday, for the morning and through the evening, even into Sunday here. So again, multiple rounds, storms likely. We're calling it a 60-80% chance moving across the area on Saturday. But we really want to draw your attention to this area in the black dashed area. So really south central Kentucky are areas where you're going to have repeated rounds over and over again of really heavy rain from thunderstorms. Stronger storms might also bring that lightning and gusty wind threat, of course, and that's a lower risk for that gusty wind threat. But the medium or even the high end of medium for our confidence is that you're going to see some flash flooding here from excessive rain is in these areas, but especially for south central Kentucky. So again, 1 to 2 inches widespread, maybe even 4 inches or greater for some localized areas. That was a lot. So just a reminder, if you could help us spread the word, we'd really appreciate it. But staying out of floodwaters. Majority of people get into trouble either playing near floodwaters or driving into them. So there's all sorts of dangers. You don't know necessarily, especially at night, how deep the water is. Even if you've traveled that road 1,000 times, that road could be deep or not even there anymore, depending on how much water is moving across. So please be careful with that. And there's also other hidden dangers. Floodwater is dirty water. It's been in all sorts of nasty places. So, animals, insects, waste material, sewage, bacteria. It's not a nice place. It's not like swimming in your backyard in a pool. You don't want to play in flooded waters. Stay away from that. So with that, I'm going to show you real quick. Sometimes people are visual. I'm a visual person myself. Just showing you kind of a simulated radar reflectivity here from one of our models. Now, this might not be exactly how it plays out, but just to kind of give you an idea of how the progression will be. So as we move through the day today, this here is 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. You see some storms really get going over there in the west. I know there's storms ongoing right now. That's kind of an appetizer, if you will. There's more to come. So 8 p.m. tonight, as we kind of go through, you see how it really kind of congeals here for much of south central Indiana, even into western Kentucky here. We're getting into 2 a.m. here. You can see it just becomes more widespread and lots of repeated rounds. This is 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, and you can really see how it kind of goes through. We get this brief break, at least what we're expecting to be sort of a brief break by Friday afternoon. This is 2 p.m. Friday afternoon. And then as we scroll through, you see another round getting going there in the west. This is 8 p.m. on Friday night, and then through the night into early Saturday morning. This is 2 a.m. Saturday morning, and then there's maybe even a third round coming through the day Saturday, and that's kind of the end of the model run there. So just to kind of give you a depiction that we have multiple rounds, maybe 3, maybe more, over and over again, and we really have to be on our toes. So we mentioned that flash flood watch is in effect. We have here, this is just the last 30 days of soil moisture, so to speak, on how much rainfall has fallen in percentages of normal. So these areas in this lighter blue and this darker purple, we're really showing areas of gosh, I'm seeing up greater than 200% of normal for the last month or so, last 30 days. So these areas north of Bowling Green, um, even south of Louisville, including the cities of Frankfort and Lexington, there's a lot of rainfall that's occurred in the last 30 days. And this is going to be on top of what's coming here. You're going to have a lot of water, excessive runoff into your areas, creeks and streams that might not necessarily be used to that type of water this time of year. So keep that in mind that we're expecting a lot of rainfall here, and it's maybe going to cause us some problems. So with that, I am going to see if you guys have any questions. Feel free to use the chat box and throw them in there, and we have folks here ready to answer those questions. While you're thinking of some questions, I have a note here to remind you all about NWS Connect. So if you enjoy getting our conference call notifications here and you enjoy getting our emails, we want you to continue to get them, but we're switching to a new system, how we're going to send out our emails and conference call notifications. So with that, if you've gotten that email, please follow the link and fill out your information. Or if you don't, come next week, you'll stop getting these notifications and you'll stop getting the emails. So please register for NWS Connect. It will take you less than 5 minutes. It's not super hard to do. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to us and we'd be happy to help you.